doubt.
So since Pumpkinhead was your first, and then Society came out within a year apart, how was that filming back to back and changing from one character being the hero and then literally a rich monster in the next one?
It was great. I mean, that was really. I got hired for Society because of Pumpkinhead. Okay. We actually filmed them further apart than it seems, because Pumpkinhead was filmed in '89, but it didn't come out in the theaters till '91. 90, 89 or 90. I think 89. We filmed it in, I don't even know. I think we filmed it in 89 and it came out in 91. It was only in the theaters for a couple of weeks and it got pulled. And then MGM bought it, put it on the shelf, sold it to Sci-Fi Channel, and Sci-Fi Channel started showing it like crazy. And that's when you guys got to know it, because it came out into the public consciousness. So it's funny how things are made and they get shelved. But Society was right after that. I was hired because of Pumpkinhead. It was a lot of fun. I have to tell you, with Society, none of us had any idea what we were making.
Yeah.
We had no idea. We were all going, wow, this is really bizarre. But it was really fun because it's kind of like a twisted Beverly Hills 90210. So, right? So we got to shoot it in these really beautiful homes in Malibu, like the pool scene. The pool party scene is in this incredible home in Malibu. And I actually was in school at Pepperdine, and I finished class and had to drive down for the night shoot, but I just drove right down to this home that was I'll never forget it. And right on the ocean, this beautiful thing. We shot at the Beach Club in Malibu. So we shot at all these really ritzy, rich locations. And I've always found it really fun to pretend to be rich. Because I ain't. I mean, that kind of money, So it was really fun. And what was fun about that character is that I didn't approach him as an alien or as because they're not aliens. They've actually been here as long as
on Earth,
humanity, right? They're another species. But I just got to approach him as the archetype of kind of the nerdy, uptight, class president who just is getting challenged on every level, and he can't understand it. He can't it doesn't compute. That's why he can't stand Billy, and he basically cuts his own throat and freaks Billy out at the debate. That was a lot of fun. And all those guys are still around. Billy's awesome. Ben Ferguson is amazing. And we had a lot of fun. We had fun on the beach. That was really a fun shoot. Then we went into the studio with Screaming Mad George to do the shunt scene, which is the big finale where we basically eat everybody and eat each other and everything, whatever that. And that's when I think all of our minds were like, what is it? And standing in it, we're covered in glycerin or Methicil is what it's called.
That's what I was going to ask you about. That was one of my questions. How many takes did that take? And I'm sure clean up and mess it up, or how
we shot a full week of night shoots to get the entire sequence. So you're in the studio in your underwear, covered in basically Methicil, which is the same gelatin that they put in McDonald's milkshakes. By the way, Miss Boomstick, Stephen, I want to tell you. The next time you have a McDonald's milkshake, think about me covered in a milkshake. Please. I'd love for you to. But anyway.
Bremer flavor.
Tastes like people. Tastes like chicken.
That's going to be McDonald's next commercial for their milkshake.
I'm going to Society. I'm taking my son to McDonald's, so we're going to get that. And I'm going to. He hates when I do stuff like that. I'll just take a sip. Tastes like people.
Tastes like people. Oh my God, we are going to digress. This is going to be a fun hour. So, we're in the studio for a full week. It's daytime, but it seems like nighttime. The thing about Methicil is it lowers your body temperature. So we're all basically freezing for the entire week in between takes, and they're putting robes on us, but then they have to douse us with the Methicil again to make us all greasy and gross.
Right.
But it was really cool. And I tell you what, when that movie came out, it couldn't get a release in the United States. You guys might know this history.
Yeah.
It was considered too distasteful, too avant-garde, too out there. And it didn't get a release in the United States. It got a release in Great Britain. And it became, for that summer, the #1 science fiction film in Great Britain, which I've always been very proud of. I'm very big in London. I'm not. I'm actually the same height there as I am here. But I always was proud of that, because I actually do love London. One of my best friends lives in England, and I love going to London. And their sensibility is just a little bit different. But they immediately took to that upper class basically eating the lower class. And what's interesting about that movie is just in the last couple of years, it's had this like weird resurgence. Like more and more people are seeing it. Yeah, people have always talked to me about Pumpkinhead and Silent Night 5, and people send me pictures and things from those films. Just in the last, I would say, year and a half, people are seeing Society.
Right. I want to say it was last year. I don't really remember my time scale or not, but right now I know it's on Shudder, and I don't know if you know who Joe Bob Briggs is, but he showed it on The Last Drive-In. It's a TV series, and where he'd stop and he would actually talk about the movie as well. So I know it got introduced to a lot of people that watched The Last Drive-In. I want to say it was within the last couple years, maybe, because that's the first time I've ever watched it, is when it got premiered on The Last Drive-In. And then I watched it again, I think last week or week before, to kind of refresh my memory about it. But yeah,
that's how it works. That's the way it happens. These movies will float out there kind of in the subculture, and then somebody will pick it up. And there you go. Wow, that's cool. I didn't know Joe Bob Briggs had shown it. That's very, very cool.
Yeah, I want to say it's season 2. I couldn't tell you the episode because I'm not at home. I can't really look, but I want to say it's season 2 of The Last Drive-In.
Thank you. I'll check that out.
Yeah,
that's very cool. I might do a show with Joe Bob next year in the spring. They're talking about it. He's doing something up in like Pennsylvania, or I don't know everything about it.
Yeah, they've been doing. There's a drive-in out there that he's been doing something out there.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I'm like huge into that, so I'm like always following that stuff. I watch all his stuff.
Just want to say real quick,
I've been a huge fan since the '90s of him.
I love him. Me too. Yeah. I've always been a big fan of his.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to meet him and to work with him. And
just
Peter.
Go away, Steve. We got this.
I was going to